Bitcoin rebounds as $319 million in shorts are liquidated while traders eye US-China talks. Bitcoin cleared $112,000 on heavy volume and hovered near $114,500 late Sunday, UTC, while CoinGlass showed $319 million of short positions liquidated over 24 hours. Bitcoin traded around $114,501 at 23:35 Universal Time Coordinated on October 26, extending a clean break above $112,000 as short sellers bore most of the day's liquidations and traders parsed fresh China trade talk posts ahead of this week's FOMC meeting. CoinDesk Research's technical analysis model observed a move from $111,453 to $113,572, led by a 9 o'clock Universal Time Coordinated surge where volume jumped roughly 318% above the session average, carrying price through the $112,000 cap. Follow-through added successive higher highs into midday before activity cooled, with price narrowing into a $113,550 to $113,720 box. Attempts near $113,700 to $113,733 faded, defining immediate resistance, while a shelf formed near $113,300. Over the last 24 hours, CoinGlass tallied $393.74 million in liquidations across venues, including $319.18 million from short positions and $74.45 million from longs. The largest single wipeout was a $19.04 million BTC USD order on Hyperliquid. In plain English, traders betting against the move were forced to exit far more than longs, a dynamic that can amplify upside once a key level breaks. Between 12:29 and 12:36 Universal Time Coordinated, the Chinese embassy in the U.S. posted 3 updates on X describing candid, in-depth and constructive consultations in Kuala Lumpur between Vice Premier He Lifeng and U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. The posts listed working topics: Section 301 measures on China's maritime, logistics and shipbuilding sectors, a possible extension of the suspension of reciprocal tariffs, fentanyl-related tariff and law enforcement cooperation, agricultural trade, and export controls. The embassy said the sides reached basic consensuses and would work out specifics through domestic processes. A follow-on post quoted He Lifeng that stable U.S.China trade serves both countries and called for dialogue on equal footing. It referenced implementing important consensuses reached by the 2 heads of state earlier this year, managing differences, and expanding mutually beneficial cooperation to promote trade ties to a higher level. A third post said both sides agreed they will use the consultation mechanism, maintain close communication on respective concerns, and promote healthy, stable, and sustainable development of bilateral economic and trade relations. The tone was process-oriented and forward-looking, signaling continued talks rather than specific policy outcomes. On Friday, CNBC reported the White House expects U.S. President Donald Trump to meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on October 30th on the sidelines of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation (APEC) summit, with the aim of dialing down tensions and seeking a trade deal. The report quoted Trump saying, "We are going to come out very well," about the planned meeting. The Fed's 2-day FOMC meeting concludes on October 29th, followed by Chair Jerome Powell's news conference. Markets will watch for guidance on the path of rates and balance sheet policy. For risk assets like crypto, the focus is whether the Fed cuts or holds, how it signals the trajectory from here and the tone Powell strikes. If BTC closes above about $113,700 to $114,000 and holds that area, UTC, traders will look to the $115,000 to $116,000 band next. If BTC falls back below roughly $113,300 and stays there, a $111,000 retest becomes more likely. Deeper weakness could revisit the $108,000 region that anchored the prior base. As of 23:23 to 23:35 Universal Time Coordinated on October 26, BTC was $114,501, about plus 2.6% over the period. On the 24-hour price chart, Buyers stepped in on dips toward $113,000 to $113,300 after the $112,000 break, while intraday pushes met supply near $114,700. On Theon month chart, about $114,575. Bitcoin has recovered from mid-October lows near $105,000, but remains below early October highs around $125,500. A daily close north of around $116,000 would strengthen the case for another test of the $120,000 to $125,000 band. Disclaimer: parts of this article were generated with the assistance from AI tools and reviewed by our editorial team to ensure accuracy and adherence to our standards. For more information, see CoinDesk's full AI policy.